Hello dear students, I wish you a very good morning. Now in this fresh morning we are starting this lecture, and actually we have started this lecture before a gap of days. Now if we go more further in the story of the lecture, as you can read behind me, the triumph of surgery. As I explained you in the previous lecture that what is the meaning of triumph and what is the meaning of surgery. In this category of the lesson, the one thing basic which we are learning, as I am repeating this topic today also, a small phrase which I have said in the earlier time also, that the triumph of surgery is all about the victory over a dog or a victory over a therapy to a pet which is given by helping nature, a person who is named as Harriet. As well, he is also the narrator of the story, and he is also leading the story in a positivity. Therefore, the basic concept of the lesson lies between treatment, between guidance, between trust, hard work, and somehow your schedule, in which grade of the topic, in which grade of time you define, you derive, you maintain your all healthy lifestyle, your all healthy schedule. So in this case of theory, we can say that today we are going to lead this story more forward. Leading the story more forward, it means that we'll take this story today to the end, we'll complete this story, and also will make all the doubts cleared about that. So the lesson is all about a dog whose name is Tricky, as I said you. Now this dog is basically blotted out with its surplus fat. As I said you, why this is happening? This is happening because when a person is getting extra meal, when a person is getting extra food, he is blotted out. Same as when a pet is getting extra meal, extra food, extra amount of nutrition and extra amount of calories, fat, obviously its body may be gonna blot out. Now the theory comes today in the medieval part of the page, that it shows where a man is trying to help. Okay, a man is trying to help the lady who is herself named as Pamphary. Now, as I said you, rich grade of people are always intimated, they are always addicted to feed their pet extraordinary. Any time of the day, every time of the day, any corner of the time, or we can say that they are joining their time of eating with any mood of their gaps. In this case of category, we can say that the dog is actually needing some basic physical exercise. Physical exercise is very needed for any living creature, any living human being, any living animal, any living amphibian, because it is also making our body fit, healthy, fine, and mind recharge. So moving further, my dear kids, as I make you to understand in my previous lecture, today I'm gonna explain you by this whole flow chart that how and in which grade of condition we are gonna recover the dog whose name is Tricky. Once again I'm telling you, see my dear kids, there are three characters. The one itself is the dog whose whole the story is leading upon. The second one is a helping nature person who is Mr. Harriet. Now James Harriet is a real character, exactly if we talk about who is leading the story forward, and this whole of the story is based on the truth basis. So in this case of category, we can understand that Harriet is not only helping, according to this lesson, Harriet is helping the dog, but actually in his own life, if we talk about he has been helping to many other pets, many other dogs, many other stray animals also, defining or deriving or convalescing them or joining them from any category. Okay, so let's take the lesson forward here. So now here, continuing from the last X, that is the explanation, it shows that the footprint without feet, the lesson is about a triumph of surgery by James Harriet. Now what is happening, my dear kids? The story of the pet who is Tricky, a dog, and Mr. Pamphary who is his mistress. It means that the master of the dog, female master. Now dog is becoming faint, as I said you. What is happening basically? See, you need to understand that when in the last part I made you to understand that Tricky was about to take to the hospital because he was not feeling well. He was blotted out with a surplus fat, eyes were bloodshot, and the legs were behind, and the forward legs were like whole sausage. It was like whole sausage. Okay, so we need to understand. Now what is happening? One day Tricky get faint. उसे बहुत ज़्यादा ऐसा कुछ फीवर जैसा आता है, and Tricky is getting faint enough, वो गिर जाता है नीचे, and Tricky is trying to stand up, but there is no possibility to stand up. In this case, Mr. Harriot is taking that dog directly to the hospital. Now, why there is hospital needed? Obviously, we know that human beings are there, or there are any pet, any animal is there. The one thing which can save our life is the doctor. Same as the doctor and his hospital, his therapy, medicines, and many more theories also. So, in this case of theory, he is taking Mr. Harriot is taking this dog directly to the hospital. As well, Pamphor is also going with him. Now, how he is taking? He is taking the dog in his car, and along with his other material, he is also taking his pillows, cushions, favorite ball of the dish where he is eating, and many more things here. So if you go more further, we need to understand that basically that this is a therapy and this is a theory where the dog is about to right now rescued out. Now what is happening? He is keeping the dog into the surgery. Now while we keep a dog into the surgery, what is happening? You know, he'll find more and more extra amount of dogs there, and the dogs will be not somehow behaving well with that dog. Yeah, that's a new theory. That's a continuing theory, or we can say that's a theory which has been seen with us or by us from the ancient time. Because as we join the new places, new people don't greet us with very happiness. And in this case, we are feeling actually lonely, and we sit in a corner, or we just sit aside, or in this case, we just make ourselves to feel very, very lonely. Same thing is happening with Tricky. Okay, he is feeling very, very lonely. But slowly, Mr. Harriot is trying to make him stand up. Okay, to make him exercised well. Therefore, one thing we need to understand that surgery doesn't mean that he is about to cut out. Surgery means the operation which was done mentally with the dog, mentally and physically, without hurting his body, is the basic thing which I'm teaching you. Okay, so surgery is a place also whole grounded with the grass, lawns, and many more stuffs with the play toy related with the dogs and other pets also, where all the other dogs are kept. Now, which kind of dogs were kept? I'll tell you some of the breeds about the dogs also. They must be the greyhounds, there must be the Siberian Sniper, it may be the Doberman, it may be the Pinscher, Bulldog, Pomeranian, many other caste of the dogs could be there here, where Tricky was also from one category of the dog. So he's feeling very lonely, and when the food is given there, when the food is given there, Tricky is refusing the food to eat. Now where is this lady Pamphor? Where is she right now? She is at home. Why? Because she gave all the responsibility by trusting upon Harriot, and Harriot is along with his one of the helping agent, or we can say assistant, sitting there, or he is just enjoying the dog's company, and then he is back to his home. Now what's happening, my dear kids? First 2 days Tricky is not trying to eat anything, and whenever Tricky is eating also, he is eating in the last meal. Okay, in the last part of the meal only he is trying to satisfy himself. So one day comes, third day comes, when Tricky is trying to go to eat with along other dogs here. Now why this is happening? Because there is a concept on that. When the first day Tricky is getting food, actually is refusing the food to eat, while other dogs are eating very, very rapidly. Rapid means very speedily. Okay, rapid means very speedily. So you can listen the sound of chewing food also. As we know that dogs are eating food and they are chewing it also, and they are making some sound also. So Tricky is somehow feeling that I should go and eat, but actually is refusing because there's a new pet there, okay, in the surgery, far from his home. So now second and the third day Tricky is trying to go there and eat, because he's knowing that if I want to go and eat, I would be getting no meal, and therefore I need to go and eat here. So from the next day Tricky is getting the extra one ball of the dish here. Slowly the recovery is going on, but the recovery is actually related with one of the words here. And what is that? That is the convalescing. Now in this grade of category word, this word is actually working as a therapy, okay, to the mistress, means to the lady who is actually the owner of Tricky. Why? Because whenever she is making a call, whenever she is asking, whenever she is mailing to that person Harriot, he is actually using this word, okay, that your dog, your pet is convalescing. It means that it is recovering. This word actually gives satisfaction to the lady, and then she is becoming so happy. And so happy that was happening, she is actually giving she is giving 2 to 3 eggs daily for the Tricky, and in that eggs, master means that Harriet is also getting to eat daily 2 eggs in the morning, means he was also becoming happy as the eggs was given dog for the blood recovery. But slowly Mr. Harriet is thinking, yeah, this is great enough that I am getting every time 2 eggs, तो अच्छी बात है, मुझे तो मिलना ही चाहिए, after all I am taking care of her dog. But this story is moving more further, this theory is going more further in the detail when she is sending the wine bottles also. And along with the wine, slowly it is upgraded. Now Harriet is getting the brandy also. Now what is happening? You know, he's drinking, eating eggs, sleeping, and making his life very comfortable and cozy. So there is an idea coming in the mind of the Harriet. Now what is that idea? That idea is that to keep Mr. Pumphrey's guest or dog, to keep dog as a permanent guest. Why? Because the dog is very quite special. The owner is sending always, every time, something treat for the dog and for the doctor or for the helping person also, who is Mr. Harriet. So he's enjoying the meal. But what is happening? One day when the recovery is all done, now the dog is feeling fit, is running here and there, eating, playing, jumping, and making some sound also. Honesty comes in the man, okay, means Mr. Harriet is leading with an honest purpose of the thought, and in this case of category, what he's thinking, you know, is thinking that I should do something better. Now what he needs to do something better, he's saying that himself, he's trying to discover himself that I should call her. As she is daily asking me about the dog's health, I should call her and I should ask her to take this dog back because the dog is feeling good, now is recovered. So one day he is making a call. After the long presence of his thought in his own mind, he is coming to an action that he is making a call, and he is making her to know that your dog is actually good now and he can be taken back to home. It can be taken back to home. So now she is coming to take this dog, fellow dog. Okay, now what is happening when she is coming to take the dog? Her car is being opened by an assistant and she is waiting aside out of the surgery while the dog is being carried out in the arms by Mr. Harriet. As you know that Harriet was having the thought to send the dog back to the lady, but somehow in some heart of corner he was also thinking that this dog should be remaining here as a permanent guest because I am getting the brandy and also I am getting some amount of eggs, 2 eggs in the morning as a protein diet. So therefore he was thinking, but as per the honesty and humanity, he is giving that dog back to that lady. When she is holding the dog, or when the interaction between the owner and the dog is there in the real action phrase, actually they both are getting emotionally attached with each other. Already they were attached with each other, but they are getting emotional attack on them, and the dog is jumping from the arms of this man to the lady and trying to lick her all aside. As you know, when the dogs are very happy, they'll wiggle their tail, they'll make some sound, they'll jump upon you, they'll lick you. So in this case, she was also very happy. And you know that happiness sometimes leads with a tear, that is the tears of happiness. So now she was about to cry, and now she is sitting in the car, backside of the car, and from the window she is just sleeping the hand, just showing that bye-bye signature step of the bye-bye. But actually it means that she is meaning a lot to say. She was actually meaning a lot to say, because she was actually being helped by that man in a very great action, in a very huge amount of purpose, where her whole of the life was about to change because her dog is now recovered. And as we know that we all are having a very good relationship, very attachment, emotional bonding between our pets, and we don't want to lose them in our life. So this story is all about saying that how you can help a person, and helping doesn't mean that anybody will come to you and ask you the help. Be like Mr. Harriet. If you found anyone on the street, if you found anyone working here and there and puzzled out, if you found any animal stray puzzled out or feared out or injured, any kind of theory is there, you're gonna help that. Whatever the pet is there, animal is there, human being is there, because the helping is the best way to care about the God also. And this lesson by James Harriet is also telling you the same theory and the story. So my dear kids, I hope this lesson made you inspired. Okay, it gave you inspiration to hear as well. You will also learn a lesson that extra eating food, extra getting cozy diet, extra getting cozy environment can lead you more to the obesity also, and can lead you whole of the box of diseases. So become healthy and stay fit, stay healthy, and be always helping. We'll meet in the other lecture. Till then, you can keep revising. Thank you.